The temperature probe on an electric fryer exhibiting temperature problems should be checked for wiring issues before being replaced. The probe is seen here positioned parallel to the element. Check the gap between the probe and the element. If the probe tip touches the element, temperature irregularities occur. Lower the controller to gain access to the probe wiring. Unplug the controller from the harness to remove it from the tested circuit. The probe wiring is in the harness in the 15-pin plug on the front of the interface board. The on-screen graphic explains how the plug's pins are numbered. A protrusion on the corner of the plug establishes the number 1 position. When diagnosing the problem, it's important to ensure the probe circuit is not leaking to ground, an error that replacing the probe may not correct. Set your meter to ohms. Here, we're looking at a split vat. There are 2 probes that share a common return. Insert the meter probe in pin 14 and check for resistance by grounding the other meter probe. If there is no resistance, as shown here, move to checking the probes. If resistance were present in this test, voltage in the circuit is leaking to ground. The problem can be a pinched wire, bad plug, or problems in the wiring below C6, the rear plug that the temp probe plugs into. If there's a leak, use common diagnostic tests to find it. Here, the left probe on pins 15 and 14 is showing resistance. When converted to temperature, this resistance will be approximately the room temperature. It's working. The right probe on pins 14 and 13 shows open. There's no resistance in the circuit. Remove the back panels. Cut the silicone securing the tilt housing. Remove the tilt housing. The element housing should lift off with the tilt housing. Find C6, the plug that holds the temperature plug wiring. With a pin pusher, remove the pins for the bad probe. One more check ensures the probe is open. Remove the bracket securing the probe wiring under the element. Remove the bracket securing the tip of the probe to the element. Cut away the metal ties securing the probe to the element. Gently pull the probe from the grommet in the element mounting flange. Cut the wire. Replace the grommet with the one in the kit. Feed the probe wires, one at a time, from the new probe into the grommet. Pull the probe wires from the rotating cylinder that holds the element. Gently press the new probe into the grommet until its vertical length aligns with the vertical face of the element. Reposition the bracket that secures the leading edge of the probe. Secure the vertical portion of the probe to the vertical portion of the element in 2 places with the provided metal wire ties. Route the metal sheathed probe wires along the exterior of the coated wire sheathing, exiting the element support. Secure it with 2 wire ties in positions that ensure it doesn't rub against the cabinet or the element hardware when the element is lifted and lowered. Reposition the metal sheathing in the bracket behind the elements. Check again to ensure the probe wires are not rubbing hardware as the element is moved. Insert the leads from the probe in C6 where the failed probe was removed. Polarity is not an issue. Reattach the C6 plugs. Replace the tilt housing and back. Restore the fryer to service.